Hello and welcome back. Hope you're good, doing well. So we are having a Kiwi Yen update. But before we're going to look at that, if anyone want to join us looking for membership or looking for training, just simply go to wave-trader.com, check the membership levels. Membership levels are there, or you can visit the techtrainingacademy.com. Now we are looking at this. We were expecting Kiwi to drop against the yen nicely, so we got a nice, a drop on Kiwi Yen. Kiwi Yen is just simply heading lower. So let's look at the previous, video analysis first quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the updated chart, what we can expect from Kiwi. So I'm gonna slightly, gonna move forward. So now let's look at this. The setup is just simply farming over there. All right. And we're having a sell-off. We can clearly see over there sell-off caused by the Bank of Japan. All right. And then we are having strength on Kiwi against the yen caused against by the Bank of Japan buying bond. All right. The bond, $2 billion bonds. And was trying to push the yield lower. So we have seen clearly price action over there by the Bank of Japan. So what you are simply expecting over there from the Kiwi Yen, you are expecting a short opportunity over there. All right. So if I'm going to pull out my rectangle, and you can put, use stop loss somewhere behind that previous top once you're going to get the entry over there. And this is what you are looking, that kind of trade. All right. And first of all, you're looking at least, you're covering your stop loss and one on one at least. All right. And then you are looking for this to continue to keep falling all the way up to this low, right? And in best case scenario, you're looking this to fall all the way up to these lows. All right. So there you're paying attention. So we are having some sell-off momentum is just building over there at that top, and we got shorts over there, yeah, these shorts, and then dropped aggressively and then bounced back. So you are looking for this opportunity. All right. So if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, we are having some sell-off over there, but the sell-off is not so strong. All right. And that means we still can we still can test the top couple of times before we're gonna get down. All right. And I still can test that top couple of times. So you're looking price to test that top, and then you are interested in to sell, or you're letting price to continue in a small correction, like 5 to 15 minute time frame correction, and then you're looking to trigger and looking for this to go down there. All right, this trade, first of all, short target. So the chart which you can use over there to let you to give you an idea that what kind of trade you're looking is the Australian dollar. Okay, we know that the Australian bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, they did not raise the interest rate, which is actually causing the Australian dollar to go down. So Australian dollar is a risk on currency. All right, when Australian dollar goes down, so you see the weaknesses on the New Zealand dollar as well. So it's a sympathy trade. We can say that as long as New Zealand Australian dollar is falling, you are chasing the New Zealand dollar as well in the same path, in the same way where the Australian dollar is simply going. So we can clearly see that the Australian dollar dropped somewhat. Okay, so if I'm gonna pull out this lower time frame, so I'm gonna pull my airline. So structure is very much same, the formations are very much same. So if I'm gonna pull out that way, and I'm gonna look at this and gonna apply my fib lines there. So there we can see, right? And if I'm gonna Look at this. So there we can see that the price is, moving towards 38% of this move, the bullish moves, right? But 38% is still far away. So 87.20. That's why this short-term target you are looking first, all right?
If you've got more than enough money coming in each month, feel
as long as you see that the Australian dollar is keep falling, right, which is very likely that the Australian dollar going to keep falling. We're not going to see, strength on the Australian dollar anytime soon. That in case if we see that the Australian dollar is correcting over there, we still can see that move over there. But this is not the setup over there yet. Okay, so the setup is going to be here. So you're looking, as long as your Australian dollar keeps falling against the yen, keeps falling, all right, the similar move you are looking here, because we're gonna have slight lag over there. Why you are looking on this trade, why not looking at that trade? So drop on this will confirm that trade. Okay, so drop on Aussie yen will confirm that the Kiwi yen will also follow up. So as long as your Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar keeps falling, right, this is also falling, that will create a lag between the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So as long as this chart keeps falling, this is actually telling you that the Australian dollar is getting weaker. Okay, and right after that you're going to see weaknesses on the New Zealand dollar as well across the market. So yeah, so drop on this will also definitely going to give you weaknesses on the Australian dollar. Okay, but the opportunity is going to be over there on New Zealand dollar. Okay, so I think that's enough. So hope that makes sense. The previous video analysis. Now let's look at the updated. So far we clearly can see that the move which we were anticipating, we got that move. Okay, nicely. The next leg lower is just simply happening over there. Okay, if I'm gonna go to the lower time frame, we were expecting this drop which just started from this place. All right, so when it started to fall, correction, yeah, so or test that previous top, yeah, and then breakdown. So we got a nice 1 hour time frame correction, beautiful next leg lower, another beautiful correction, we can say that, perfect, and then next leg lower, and another correction is just simply forming over there for another breakout. Yeah, so the next move is just simply happening over there beautifully to the downside as we were expecting it to happen. So the question is, has that move completed? All right, so the answer of that is not yet. Okay, so the target you are looking is going to be between, at least within these areas. All right, so we still got a room to run on it, on the Kiwi yen. All right, so we still can continue to keep dragging lower. So if I'm going to pull out again Aussie yen chart on my right side, so 1 hour time frame, and going to look at that chart, we're going to get the idea that what's happening on Australian dollar. So I told you on the other day, guys, that when the Australian dollar, when the Reserve Bank of Australia, they did not raise the interest rate, and we have seen significant drop on the Australian dollar, that was actually a sign that the risk of wave was building up over there, or we can say that the Fitch rating news was building up over there to come. Fitch, credit rating downgrade of US, that news was, or the BOJ, they were, I mean, the big player, they knew that this news was going to come, and they started to build up their positions according to that news. And we have seen, sell off on risk on currencies ahead of that. So now the question which is right now we should ask is, has that move completed, the move which started from over there? All right, so far no. So if I'm going to pull out my fib lines again from there to there, okay, so we still can see that the retracement has happened over there on Australian dollar and yen, this move retracement. Okay, but we haven't seen that retracement yet. So if I'm going to pull out another chart just to understand that, to get the idea that have the move completed, or we should still look for more downside. Another chart if I'm going to use with that, going to be the rand. Let me, where that rand chart has gone. So let's just bring from here. Okay, so there, so we clearly can see that the emerging market currencies are weaker more than the developed countries. All right, the developed countries currencies are still stronger against the yen after the BOJ tweak. So there we can see that the ZAR is struggling more, okay, and has gone below this, the bond buying area. Okay, this is the bond buying and this is the tweak. I mean, news broke that the tweet is going to come, and this is the tweak. And after that tweak, you know, we have seen weaknesses in the yen. So this is the future rating news, all right, and we still can see that we haven't broken down that low yet. If I'm going to pull out another chart, which is the Nikkei index, which is more reliable when it comes to trading on yen pairs, so we can see that the Nikkei index has also broken through that low. All right, this is the move where the move started from there. Okay, bond buying, weak bond buying, and again we can see that the Fitch rating news broken down that. All right, and still dragging lower. So if you're going to see that the Nikkei index keep breaking downside, okay, so we're still going to see more downside. The trade is still in play, so the short-term target is almost reached, but medium-term target is still going to be this area, okay, or possible more downside on longer term on the New Zealand dollar and yen. So if I'm gonna, okay, so if I'm gonna make it more simple, in case if we see that the equities are going to bounce off aggressively from the current price or new lows, yeah, so then we may see, you know, retest of the Kiwi yen at this area at 88 or 88.50 or 88.60. So right now I'm not anticipating, but in case if market is going to change its risk off tone, all right, and going to go ahead of the risk off, all right, so we'll see that. I'll try my best to update. But as I updated previously that the Nasdaq 100 index was setting up for a breakdown, so Nasdaq 100 index is still breaking down. We are not having any buy opportunity yet on the Nasdaq 100 index. We were expecting it to hold the moving average, but 4 hour moving averages, but we can see that you know, the risk of move hasn't finished yet, all right, and we are not having any sign across the market for risk on move yet. So as long as, you know, the drop is just happening, you are looking at the Kiwi yen to go all the way up to this 84.90 areas first, and in case if the big move is going to happen, the big move is going to come over there, all right, the big move definitely going to come over there. And the big move is that the Japanese 10-year yield is heading towards the 1%, all right, but Bank of Japan is trying to slow that down. So we're going to have update on that. I will try to update on that, you know, when, you know, we're going to have next analysis on the dollar yen. So I'll try my best to update that. So what's happening over there on the Japanese yield, and where, you know, why we are, you know, why the yen is setting up for a longer term drop. We'll explain that into that analysis. But right now you are expecting, you know, this move to go all the way up to this, okay, and in case if the bigger move has just begun, then the target gonna be this low, and longer term gonna be much lower. So let's see where it goes, all right, for longer term. But right now we are still away from these lows. Okay, you're targeting that. Thank you.